Yo,
Yo, welcome back to Crossroads in Boxing. I'm here with Ricky tonight, um, episode 17. We'll be talking about the Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, the Fatal Fury weekend, really, and just touching on a few more things in boxing this week, what's happened. But before we start, we'll go to D Rock Clothing promo. Yo, what's up, Ricky?
not much, mate. Up here in Whitley Bay, nice and sunny, plenty of
Hey, hey,
flies. What about you?
plenty of flies. The weather's been mint, to be fair. It's been absolutely. I've actually had shorts on. I wear shorts like 3 times a year, unless I'm playing football. Bro, it's
Enjoy
been
it that
rough.
day.
But yeah, boxing. Um, what have we got today? What we talking about today? What we
We
got?
talk about the Fatal Fury weekend,
Yeah.
biggest superstardom card going.
What we got? Where do you want to start with that? Where do you want to start?
I think we should start with the first card, which will be Garcia's.
Is that Garcia's card? Let me
Yeah,
see.
I think
Is
that's
this it?
tomorrow
Yep,
night, isn't it? Or
yep. This
Saturday
is the one.
morning.
So we've got a couple of fights on the undercard. I think it's like the NYPD versus I don't know. So I think the fire department or something. But we'll move on to the main guys. Teofimo versus Barboza. What are you saying about this fight?
I'm saying it's a good fight. It's a very interesting fight. I like both boxers. I think Barboza was very impressive against Catterall. Um, Orthodox versus Southpaw uses reversers very well. And he boxes very well. He does all the basic fundamentals right. He's established, like I say, he's got really good, solid fundamentals. Tiafimo, like we discussed earlier on, as we do many times a day. I feel like he will have the more flair, the better shots, the more eye-catching shots, should I say, not better. I think he will be the more one to watch during this bout. I think it'll be a close bout, but I do think that Teofimo will have enough to get the job done on the night. Uh, I am edging towards Teofimo on a points. Um, I think, like I said, I think it'll be a very close fight, though. I don't think he's going to get an easy one there.
Yeah, my thought process is similar to yours, really. But I've gone the other way. I've seen Teo against pure boxers. I've seen him against guys that, and he's been gifted decisions. For me, in my eyes, he's been these fights, the Sandor Martin, Jermaine Ortiz fights. Those guys are pure boxers. You said Jermaine Ortiz is more of a boxer puncher, but he's very good at boxing. Um, Barboza, like I said before, when they did the first press conference, if Barboza boxes, for me, he beats Teo. I think Teo all round is a better fighter, but he struggles against pure boxers. Really struggles against pure boxers. And I think Barboza, hopefully, he's disciplined enough to stay as a pure boxer this fight and let Teo get frustrated, because when Teo gets frustrated, he walks in with his defense down, and that's when Barboza can catch him. I'm going with a Barboza split decision, majority decision, one of those two, because I don't see anyone knocking each other out in that fight. Teo hasn't shown he's got power at 140 since he's moved up. So yeah, I'm going with Barboza on this one. But like I said, Teo's supposed to win this fight. if this Tio who turns up once in a blue moon, the Tio who fought Comey or fought Loma or fought Josh Taylor, you probably see something special, but I don't know. It's just that style for me. Barboza by split.
Which is not a bad prediction at all, to be fair. It's not a bad.
I
think it'll be a close fight. I do really think it is. Barboza, he did get the nod over Catterall in a split decision. Do I think Catterall is in the same league as Teofimo, the likes of Teofimo? I don't think he's far off if he isn't. I think it was a very good fight, and I think Barboza is very impressive. He does remind me, as we said, as like a bit of a Miguel Makoto type-esque fighter.
Yeah, I like Barboza. I like his style. His last two wins, you've got Jack Catterall and Jose Ramirez. So, and he's been calling for this fight. This is a fight that Tio didn't want. Tio's never really wanted to fight Barboza. There's a clip of Tio asking not to fight him after a fight because Barboza wanted to come into the ring. So Tio's never really wanted this fight. I think Barboza's style is wrong for Tio, but if Tio gets it right, gets everything right, I can see him winning. But I'm going to lean towards Barboza on this one. The next one we've got Haney versus Ramirez. What are you saying for this one?
I think it's going to be a boxing spectacle of Devin Haney on the back foot, picking Ramirez off, impressing. I think he's got to be the one that's impressing because this is all the storyline for this fight card for me is all about the rematch, the most anticipated rematch of the year between Garcia and Devin Haney. So the tides are set for these to be tough fights, but these are also set as what has been seen as probably during the matchmaking period the most winnable for each fighter. To be able to set that rematch up. So they are good names, but I kind of think that's the purpose of this whole week. I hope we don't get any upsets. I know you're predicting an upset, but I kind of want that rematch because I am very interested to see, like you said, the Garcia that we're going to get this weekend. Following on from his positive results.
We'll get onto him because we've got a bit of a segment on him when we get to that. But for me, I have this as Jose Ramirez is a tough guy. He's a very good fighter, to be honest with you. But Barboza beat him. Barboza's style similar to Devin, but Devin does it 10 times better. That's how I see that. I think I've picked Devin unanimous decision. For me, it all depends on how much Ramirez has got left because if Ramirez hasn't got as much left as I think he has, he'll get stopped late. Because I think Devin, people are underestimating how good Devin is, and he's moving up in weight. He might be feather-fisted, but being drained doesn't help your punch power whatsoever. Being healthy. Listen, he dropped Regis Prograis at 140. He showed he had more power at 140 than he did at 135, where he was draining himself. He's moving back up. He hurt Ryan a couple of times in that fight anyway, in their fight. Ryan's special juice he kicked in.
kept him in, kept him going.
So, for me, I think Devin could possibly get a stoppage. Maybe it could be a beating where the corner throws in the towel or Ramirez doesn't come out of his corner. I generally feel like this performance from Devin will put a stamp on how good he is.
Big statement there.
Yeah, I do. I think it could possibly be one of those fights where Devin just picks him apart every time Ramirez comes forward to possibly try to pressure Devin. He'll pick him apart, move, and they can call you a soft puncher as much as you want, but if you're getting tagged 50 times around, it doesn't matter how soft you're hitting, it's going to hurt at some point.
Oh, 100%. And like you say, I do think that this one will be a spectacle. I do think Ramirez will be out of his depth. I do rate Devin Haney's boxing ability. Like we said with the Garcia fight, he was winning that fight quite easily. But to be fair, the work rate wasn't really there from Garcia. It's just every time he caught that hook, that check hook, it just rocked him every time to his boots. But like I said, we'll get on to that.
Is Devin being complacent as well? Because you're winning the rounds, you're doing well, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. Then you switch up and you allow yourself to get caught. That's the problem in that fight. Ryan catching him or everything, that's on Devin. Ryan popping dirty, I don't care what anybody says. That's on him. That is on Ryan.
100%.
Devin can go back and deal with what he did wrong in that fight to allow Ryan to throw that punch. But Ryan should have never been in the ring to throw that punch anyway. So,
and the thing is like I've seen quite a few segments as well on socials, and Devin's getting quite a lot of stick for being like killer-fisted. So I think I tagged you in it. I'm not sure, but he is getting some hammer. So I think he will be on like the level where, or in his mind frame where he's going to be thinking, I'm going to have to stop this guy and punish him just to shut some people up. Because
listen, Devin's always been called feather-fisted, always. He's always been called it. He can't punch. He's just not that fighter that can punch. That's got that one punch knockout. But nobody's staying in front of him to get hit. Put it that way.
No, exactly. No.
He has.
So it's hard enough.
Yeah, us as fans can laugh at it or whatever, but that kid's got 31 fights, where 31 fighters didn't come in running in because he couldn't hit. You know what I mean? He could definitely, he can punch hard enough. He hasn't got one punch, but that's not his style either. Devin doesn't really sit on his punches. So that's another thing, that he doesn't really sit on his punches. He's more defensive minded. So when he's throwing to score, but trying to make sure at the same time he's not going to get caught with a counter or anything. So it's more so to do with committing to the shot.
He's got the right balance of being aggressive and defensive without overcommitting on each. Like Shakur Stevenson, there's not many people that can be as good as him defensively. Like his defensive skills are near enough second to none, almost
in the pocket as well. In the pocket, that like Shakur he got clowned, like, running around the ring or whatever. But Shakur's defense in the pocket is incredible. It's very good. He uses that shoulder roll. He moves his upper body really well, and he punches from that. Any angle he moves his body, he manages to throw a punch from that angle, which Shakur's special. To be honest, he is special.
I know. I'd like to see him get some good fights soon as well, to be fair. I think that's why he's left Matchroom, because I don't think he was quite happy with his matchmaking. But we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, well, Ryan, we'll go with this first. So,
which one is the heavier photo?
Who would you say weighed heavier in which photo? Because I genuinely don't understand this. I said, the crazy thing is, I said what I said a long time ago, about 3 months ago. I said that Ryan. Let me see if I can get the clip up.
Get the clip up, mate.
Let me see if I can get the clip up, because 2 months ago I sat here and spoke to CJ about this. We were speaking on the Ryan Garcia situation on PEDs, whether I thought he actually took PEDs, or what do you think it was just weight cutting? And I said, you'll be able to tell. Well, here we go. Anyway, we'll play it.
Play that shit.
We'll have to just wait and see, won't we?
My thing is, I wonder if his body shape goes back to, because obviously he got popped for whatever he popped for. I'm just wondering and very intrigued to see how he comes back, and is he all of a sudden back to the lean way he looked, where Ryan was more skinny than muscles. He was always more skinny than muscles. He was always quick. His quickness came from how lean he was, in my opinion. That left hand, it's lethal, as it's proven. It is lethal.
It's rapid as well.
It's very fast.
That's enough of that. But yeah, that was 2 months ago. I asked that question. I was saying to CJ, it'll be interesting to see how he looks, how he sounds, his voice. Is he going to look the same? Is he still going to have, bearing in mind he's moving up to 147? Is he going to keep that stature? Hell no. He went straight back to exactly how he was before, and exactly how I said he would do. For the people that saying that he wasn't an Austrian and he took this little amount, you can believe whatever you want to believe. My eyes is not lying to me. That kid against Devon, who was supposed to be 143 or whatever it was, looked heavy as hell. He looks heavy as hell compared to what Ryan is right now.
And bearing in mind as well, Ryan came in because he was struggling to make weight on that fight as well, and he did come in a little bit heavier.
He was drained. He was still drained. By the way, that was him drained.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at there. That's him drained, going down to lightweight. The guy's his sides are popping, his shoulders are huge, and then you see him at welterweight on the picture on the left, and he's nowhere near that same stature. He's not as chiseled. He's got not fleshy like what bloody I am, but like compared to that fight, it's just completely different body shape, and you wouldn't even think they were the same fighter. Like, and especially when you get the photo up, the one on the right being the lighter fighter by like 2 weight classes, or was it super lightweight? I can't remember, but at least a weight class in difference.
Yeah,
it's unreal.
It's mad. It is mad. Listen, this fight here with Rolly is. We spoke earlier, and I said to you that I really would not be surprised if Rolly sparks him out, because Ryan isn't the same fighter people saw against Devon. I don't care what everybody says. Ryan isn't that same fighter. You look at his whole demeanor, how he is, how he's portraying himself now. Ryan isn't the same guy. So people thinking that's the same Ryan that's going in there with Rolly, who's happy to go in there and try and take shots just to land his left hook. Rolly will sleep him. So, but I don't rate Rolly, so I'm going with Ryan by stoppage, because I think Rolly's going to just run into a shot anyway. Ryan can punch, so I generally don't. I don't think it's going to happen.
I've just had a text off my wife saying, "Have you shaved your monobrow?"
She's
no.
keeping an eye on you.
But thanks for flaring that up. Now I'm gonna have to be like that. Yeah. To be fair though, on this fight, regarding this fight, I do wonder. I'm very interested to see how he will perform. I cannot wait to see what the results are on the night. I can't wait to watch the fights, because I just want to see it. Like, we watched him against Devin Haney. He was very standstill. He was flat on his feet. He looked heavy for the weight. But when he connected, and the shot stuck with Devin Haney for that fight, and that was the big like difference in them both. But I'm interested to see, will he have it? How fast will they be? How hard will he actually hit against Rolly Romero, who, to be fair, is no like real snowflake himself. He has been stopped twice, but he has got 14 knockouts out of 16 victories. So it's two bouts. It's like two fighters here that both hit quite hard. The only difference is one sounds like a dying cat when he's throwing his shots. Because I've seen the videos of Ryan Garcia mocking him as well, and that is funny.
Oh, that whole press conference was hilarious, because But Rolly can punch. That's one thing he can do. Rolly can punch. So Ryan needs to be careful because
He'll end up rolling.
I've said this before. Ryan is the only fighter that can get dropped and not get called chinny, and that can quit and not get called a quitter, and that can cheat and not get called a cheater. I
Because he's so famous.
I swear on my life, this kid is the only person. He got dropped by Luke Campbell, and no offense to Luke, Luke was never a big puncher. Luke wasn't a big puncher. He was a boxer. He got dropped by Luke Campbell, but no one talks about his chin. He quit against Tank on his knees.
It was body shots, weren't it? That is most seems to be most vulnerable.
He took a right hand to the body and had time to get up. He quit.
But I mean, he seems to be like quite vulnerable to those.
Yeah.
Those body shots.
He quit, and then against Devon, he popped dirty, and people are still not calling him a cheater. They're still making excuses. That kid cannot do anything wrong. You know what? God bless him, because I wish my life could be like that, and I don't do anything wrong because
just an angel.
He can't do anything wrong, but his fan base is amazing. Every boxer needs a fan base like Ryan's.
Man, you need that fan base as well.
Yeah, well, I think we're winning tonight, so I'm all right for now.
There's still time, bro. There's still time.
Don't say that. Do not say that. We've this weekend is full of boxing. Obviously, that card's Friday night in the middle of Times Square. That's going to be really cool to see how they actually do it. Are they just putting a ring in the middle of Times Square and people can walk past and watch? Like, what is going to happen? It looks mad. I want to see the weigh-ins. I've seen there's. I think I've got a clip of Ryan and Rolly weighing in. That's the only two that's weighed in. Well, no, everyone's weighed in, but that's the only two they've got footage of weighing in for some
whatever reason.
I'm not sure why. Everybody else is weighed in and they are on weight. The weights are fine.
I'll mention this on next because it's for next card. I'll mention it on next one. In fact, before we do move on, actually, because I've got some notes here as well. Ryan Garcia winning against Rolly could and hopefully does set up the Devin Haney 2 match, but also we've got Conor Ben challenging Ryan Garcia as well on social media, saying he's flying out to Times Square. He's going to be there. What are his thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, this is the one, isn't it? This is the one,
yeah, that's the one.
He said, well, I'm saying that fight ain't happening this year. Put it that way. That fight can't happen this year. But next year, him versus Conor Ben, Canelo versus Eubank
at Wembley
on the same card.
I would just matchmake them. There we go. Who needs Eddie and Frank Warren?
But I don't want to make that match because I don't believe Ryan beats Devon. So
it's just it's a big fight because they don't like each other, isn't it? That one.
Yeah.
It still sells that fight, to be fair, no matter what.
Yeah, I've got this footage here of Ryan and Rolly weighing in. Let's see if it'll play.
Put your both feet in.
You
got that 146.8. 146.8. Good, Mr. Romero. Put your feet in.
Rolly looks big.
Yep.
Good. 146.6.
Ryan looks small, which is crazy. Which is absolutely crazy that Ryan looks small at 147.
If body is one fight, mate, he'd be in big trouble.
Listen, all I can say is that there seems to be reasons for this that people want to ignore. But hey, we've got a card on Saturday, Canelo, which has gone under the radar. Right, we keep saying every show, every show we say this. It just seems to be less promotion on stuff. the Friday card seems to have overshadowed a Canelo weekend.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's
weird.
not in Vegas; it's in Saudi, which is probably another reason why it's like that. But we've got it's a good card. Which fight are we going with first? So we've got
Well,
Martin. Oh, go on.
I just want to add, like, I'm on like BoxRec, and
Mm.
it looks like Richard Riakporhe's been added to the card.
Who is he fighting? You
It
know
says
what?
TBA.
I actually saw a clip of Riakporhe actually out in Saudi. Through the I think it was like the Arrivals. But yeah, I wonder who
It's a
he's
bit
fighting.
short notice to be added, but it's got like the British Boxing Board of Control all in it, so it just says TBA for his opponent. So, well, we'll see who turns up, and if he does turn up, that's random.
Is he fighting heavyweight or
It's got him down as heavyweight, yeah.
maybe it's a tune-up and then the Orange Sokoli fight's going to happen?
I'm thinking that might be the case. Like that could be
Orange
the case.
Sokoli card on the AJ card whenever AJ decides to come back.
Fight Fiore.
Yeah, we'll touch on that after this card. We'll just we'll finish off with a few bits what's circling around the boxing world. Badu Jack versus Michaelian. Is it Michaelian? How is it?
No, Michaelian. I'm
Yeah,
going with that, mate. I think that's a good attempt. So it is what it
Badu
is.
Jack versus Michaelian for the WBC title. Who have you picked for this one? Because Badu Jack
I've
has been
gone.
inactive, like really inactive. I don't know if has Michaelian been inactive as well.
I don't. It's a short notice opponent as well, which I found out. I just think one. I don't know how Badu Jack's got a title shot after being inactive for 2 years. But that in regards to that, I just kind of think he's well past his best. He was well past his best when he was last out. I don't really know much about Noah Michaelian, but I just don't have a good feeling for Badu Jack really. I can't see him winning it. I've gone with Michaelian.
I'm sure I went with Michaelian as well. Let me double check. I'm sure I went with Michaelian because that.
But they've both been as active as each other, really. So
Did I go Michaelian?
I don't know how title
Yeah,
shots worked out at all.
yeah. I don't think Badu Jack's got anything left. Badu Jack he was supposed to be retiring a long time ago. Then he came back, ended up winning a title at the cruiserweight division where nothing was really happening at the cruiserweight division. I don't want to discredit him or anything like that, but for me, I think Badu Jack's days are over. I think their days are over.
I've always been a big fan of Badu Jack as well. I've always liked his style. He does everything well. He's always been one of those where he weren't relatively amazing at anything, but he was really good at everything. So it was like a really good like handyman of a boxing style. I've always really enjoyed watching him fight, even against James DeGale with the massive head clashes and the big cuts. And if I remember correctly, it's been a few years, but I've always enjoyed Badu Jack. Like you say though, I think his age, he's been active.
It's father time. I always like Badu Jack. I remember when he took his first loss I think it might have been like in his second or third fight early on in his career. He got knocked out, and he came back. And I always after he got knocked out, and then you see someone come back, you just like keep an eye on him. And I've always followed him since then. Like you said, the James DeGale fights and stuff like that. But I just think father time. I think Badu Jack's probably done for me. I think probably this is a retirement fight for him.
Funnily enough, as well, both of those guys' last fights were like 2 years ago. About 2 years, and both of their last fights were all against Makubu.
No, Macabre. Well, exactly.
So there you go. Makeda knocked him out in 3 rounds or 4 rounds, and Badou Jack stopped him in 12. So
yeah. Well,
so
I'm going with
I'm
Michaelian
interested anyway.
I'm going with Michaelian on this one. The next fight are we going with Jaime Munguia? Oh no, FA Jagba versus Martin Bakoli. We're going with.
I'm
That
excited for that one.
is a good fight. That is a good fight. I think Martin Bakoli. I've got Martin Bakoli coming back with a vengeance. Obviously, against Joseph Parker, he wasn't fit. He wasn't fighting fit. He wasn't thinking. It was a late notice opponent. When you get caught, when you get caught like that on the top of the head, when you're not physically fit, you know what I mean. You're not fighting fit. You've not had a chance. Recovering from them sort of shots is always going to be hard. Billy Nelson throwing in the towel. Martin Bakoli got paid. He saved the show, to be honest with you, because it was a good enough name and a replacement for the last minute for people to still be interested. So fair play to him, but I think he's going to come back with a vengeance. I think he stops FA Jagba inside 6th round, maybe 5th round stoppage. I don't really rate a Jagba. He's never really shown me anything. He came into the pros, mate. I think he got a name because who was it? That Curtis? Who was it who walked out of the ring on him? Is it Curtis Harper or someone?
Curtis Harper. I tagged you in that
Yeah,
earlier.
it was Curtis Harper. Yeah, Curtis Harper walked out of the ring. Walked out of the ring on him, and he sort of
his purse.
Yeah, he sort of got a lot of hype through that, and he hasn't really done anything since. So yeah, I think Martin Bakoli, he will show that he is a top heavyweight. He is a top heavyweight, and I think he stops. I forgot FA Jagba.
Yeah, I've got the same. I think I can't remember what round I picked. But I like Bakol. I like his style. He's very strong. When he hits, people stay hit. It's quite quick as well for a big guy. I like everything about him. I like his demeanor. I like his aggression, and I like what he does in the ring. Now, I did send you a clip of him sort of having a heated discussion as well on one of the press conferences, which were quite funny, and it kind of did get me riled up a bit to watch it because, again, it sells that show, and that shows it's not had much promotion, and you look at that fight on paper, and you probably scroll past it, but with that, after watching that, you'd probably want to tune in. I do think it's going to be a good scrap, that one. I don't expect much boxing to be on display. I expect a good brawl, and I hope we do get a good brawl as well.
Yeah, Martin Bakoli don't come out there to box. He's not there to box. FA Jagba can, I think, try and keep it long. I think his best bet is to try and keep it long because you don't want a Martin Bakoli at his size leaning on you. So FA needs to keep it long, keep his shots straight as well, because Martin McCauley has those looping shots as well. He has a good jab as well, McCauley. I don't.
It's a hard jab as well.
Yeah, it's not even a jab, is it? It's a straight left.
I stop you with jab.
Oh God!
With
yeah, and just Daniel Dubois. We wanted to touch on that, but yeah. What else we got? Bruno Soraz.
Yeah.
Against Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia trying to get his revenge on Bruno Soraz, who upset him. I think he got upset of the year and knockout of the year by the Ring magazine. Stopping Jaime Munguia in 6 rounds. Jaime Munguia actually dropped Soraz in the second round. He was well on his way to just winning that fight and possibly stopping Soraz, to be honest with you. I think he played with his food. He understood that, or he felt that Soraz couldn't hurt him. Soraz came in there with only 4 knockouts on his record. I think Munguia felt like he had his number. He could do whatever he wanted with him in there. He didn't focus on his defense, lapsed and got caught with a big shot and couldn't recover. So That's what happens in boxing. Unfortunately, it's not over until it's over. You can't underestimate your opponent, because as much as you're trying to win, they're trying to find a way to win. And sometimes, especially in boxing, it only takes that one shot.
I kind of think as well, like, would there been a big lack of respect as well? Because going into that fight, he only had 4 knockouts on his record. Would he have just like not really felt the power and just go for it and just enjoy himself in there? But again, like when that, like with Devin Haney against Garcia, when you get that what word am I looking for here? Where you get a bit like a bit too comfortable. You get a bit too comfortable. You get a bit too cocky. And you just get caught, and that's boxing. You get caught. Like you cannot afford to not defend yourself at all times. Victor Ortiz learned that lesson against Mayweather.
God,
defend yourself at all times. The referees as well in British boxing, they will teach you defend yourself.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Even when they push your arm down.
In British boxing, you bet when your arm gets pushed down, you better just not let your arm get pushed down.
Should be quicker. Your reflexes should be there. It's testing you.
Them judges at British boxing ain't playing. Ain't playing at all. So we've both got. I've got Jaime getting it back. I think Jaime stops him. I think Jaime's going to go in there with a purpose to show that this really didn't need a second fight. I slipped up, and he's probably going to get him out of there early. I've seen Jaime hurt him early in the first fight. I think he can do it again, but we've got to be careful as well, because sometimes when you go in there and you feel like you can just beat this man and you're going to do that, they've gotten better in that time, like Lyndon Arthur showed Anthony Yard. That so you might have stopped me in the third round last time, but it's not going to be as easy. I've actually learned something. So Bruno Serraz is he's still in there. He's still got a chance. He's probably learned from that Jaime Munguia fight. He'll have learned a lot, because for me, he was losing every round until that. So going back and he's got a lot to watch and learn from. So but I'm picking Jaime Munguia by stoppage.
Yeah, I think I've gone the same way, if I'm honest. I'm just trying to find my predictions there, but I have gone Jamie Munguia. I think that's when Jokes got me last time, because I think I said Jamie.
Jamie Munguia.
But I've gone the same. It's set up for him to win, and I just think he's the better. I think he's the better fight. Like I say, playing with his food, and he got caught, and he got a bit too cocky, a bit too confident, and that rate, you don't do that in boxing. And that'll be a lesson learned. He won't do that the second time. He'll go in there and he'll go make a statement. So it's a statement victory that he needs now. So I kind of think he'll go in there and dispose of him pretty quickly and pretty effectively as well.
Yeah, we've both got the same way on that. We've got the main man himself, Canelo. It's Canelo weekend. It's Cinco de Mayo weekend for the Mexicans. So this is supposed to be Canelo's weekend, but we're not hearing too much about it. But hopefully by Saturday morning, when the dust has settled over the card in Times Square, everyone can turn to this fight on his own pay-per-view. What are you going with on this one, seeing as I know Nigel Benn kind of ruined it for you, but
yeah, I literally I took a deep breath as well, and I thought, right, can you? But then you've just said it. No, like I said, I've gone Alvarez round 9 stoppage, because William Skull's going to quit on his stool, because Nigel Benn said so. But the thing is what I like to say about this is, one, that would like that Eubank Ben were massive. The press conference were massive. One of the most viewed shows and pay-per-views going. Out in sparring partners on that type of stuff does not do well for fights. And I'm surprised there's been no, like, if Eubank Jr. had said that, there'd been backlash. There's been no backlash whatsoever. So what we kind of all know, it's Canelo's debut in Riyadh. He's gonna win that fight. I don't really know too much about William Scott. I've checked his record out. There's not really anyone of large note there. Alvarez has been in with the biggest of biggest names on the biggest stages of them all. And I just think it's just going to be routine for him. He never overestimates anyone. He never gets too cocky. I think he's going to get him out of there. I think it will be early. I have gone for round 9 just to take the piss on the Nigel Benn situation. But I think he's going to make a statement to say this is what you've been missing. And I really, really think he'll be game for that. I think he's there to impress, and I think he will do just that.
Yeah, I think I've gone maybe 4th round stoppage or 5th round stoppage. That one. Have I put it on? Canelo 4th round stoppage. I think Canelo wins easy. I think Canelo stops him. I think he's there to make a statement. I'm not sure what's happening next. If it's Crawford next, I don't know if that's actually signed. I don't know. I don't
even want that fight. Me, like everybody goes on about Crawford and Canelo, like there's a massive demand for it, and I just think Canelo's gonna smoke him. I don't know why I'm so confident, but I just really think Canelo's got his number and will smoke him. Like I don't even think it'll be an hard test for him. I watched the Crawford Madrimov fight live, and that was Crawford's debut, I think, into that weight category. And I just thought he looked a bit small in there compared to Madrimov. And he performed and he got the win, but he didn't. I don't think he did it in a fashion that he expected. And I thought it was quite a good close match fight. And I just think Canelo gets Madrimov out of there. I think Canelo gets him out of there. I think Canelo dusts Crawford. And I like Crawford. I do like Bud, but he's getting old as well. And I think Canelo will be the man to put him to the sword.
I think it's going to be the power. I think that's what's whether he stops him or not, it all depends, because everybody goes up there and then as soon as they feel the power, the legs start to work all of a sudden. Let's put it that way. The legs all of a sudden start to work. So I think early in that fight, you'll quickly see how it goes.
Yeah.
I think very early in that fight, you'll probably see this fight's going to go this way. If Bud isn't backing off and he's going on and he's managing to counter Canelo and frustrate Canelo, we might see something different. But I don't know. I think it's a tough task. It's a tough task going up there. It's the weight classes.
Yeah, it's going to be the weight class, and that's what I think will be the big difference. I do think, going back to the Skull fight, I kind of think Canelo's going to tag him early, and Skull's going to run. If I'm honest, I think that's the fight. It's going to be a frustrating night, but I think I'm very confident that Canelo beats Crawford, and I don't see Crawford getting his 49 or 51-0 to match Mayweather's record. And even, you know what? Even if he does, right, he's still not fought the same caliber of opponents that Mayweather fought. So it's still irrelevant to me.
The whole record thing will always be that, though. There'll always be tangibles.
There'll always be someone.
There'll always be tangibles where, oh well, he might have more wins, but the caliber of opponents isn't as good. It's always going to get that because eras are different. So some eras are weak, some eras that are not. You can only beat who's in front of you, unfortunately, for the eras that because in some eras you are strong. The fighters who were losing in them eras would probably win in the weaker eras. It's just unfortunately you was born when you was born, isn't it? It's just unfortunate. There's so we're both going Canelo on that one. You was talking earlier, just shifting the pace to Daniel Dubois. You mentioned that we got that rematch, and you wanted to see the Dubois push on Usyk.
I want to rewatch the push. Bearing in mind that Dubois is a big 6 foot plus bodybuilder of a man. He looks like a wrestler. And this push is. I think somebody made him do it. And then he shits himself after doing it.
The way he bites on that feint straight away, it's like, and Usyk just starts laughing at him, and I'm like, oh, Daniel, you just need to stick to what you do best. Don't speak. Whenever they ask you to speak, just say, I don't care. I'm ready to fight. That's all I need to hear from you, Daniel. I'm ready to fight.
And I don't know if that was just his attempt at trying to sell it. It was like he didn't want to do it, but then somebody whispered in his ear,
it was like his intrusive thoughts came every time, and then he tried to pull him back halfway through.
Yeah, he's got a little Jiminy Cricket on his fucking shoulder saying, "Oh, mate, him push him."
Honestly, I swear, I was like, "What?" And then he called him pussy after. I'm like, "Bro, you stop! You literally quit.
I stop you with jab.
I stop you with jab. That was savage, by the way. That was absolutely savage. I can't believe how savage that was.
We've actually got some comments.
Oh, we've got some comments.
Where is everyone?
I know. Everyone's.
I know what it is. They're watching Man U win, and I can forgive them for that. I really can.
Oh, that's fair enough then. If that's what's happening, we're all right. Did someone say Dubois? Here we go. Rico's here. Did someone say Dubois? I knew he would come in. Daniel got Dubois. Every northern accent. Listen, it's not our fault Dubois decided to take a knee in this fight. And Usyk beat him with a jab. It's not our fault. And the same thing will happen in the next fight anyway. Daniel needs to learn how to fight, how to punch clean anyway. That's all I can say.
He managed that with AJ anyway.
Well, why did you have to go there?
He stopped him with fucking jab.
Listen, we don't speak about that. We don't speak about that.
It was a very humble moment.
You're lucky you said this this week and not last week when Dan was here, because both me and Dan would have jumped you. We'd have jumped into the screen and been in Scotland. I don't want to remember that.
It was a bad, sad moment, wasn't it?
2 days ago, I was happily just scrolling through Twitter, minding my own business. Boom, the Zone posted it, and they posted it on one of them ones where you scroll past, it doesn't even give you a chance to, when a video starts playing, and it, like, obviously it's the build up to the moment of the knockout. As soon as my phone stopped scrolling and it was on the video, it was literally the right hand landing. I was like, the Zone, you can piss me off already today. It was sunny outside. I was having fun. It was a nice day.
The wind was in your hair, and then boom.
And then boom, I see AJ get swept by Dubois. I was but that is now nothing can beat Eubank beating Ben anyway. So nothing can beat that anymore. I don't care. You can show me the AJ knockout all over. Just show me Senior walking out with Junior. I'll be happy. Actually, honestly, this is one of my favorite things now. Is Senior talking about when he was in Junior's corner and what he was saying to him. See if I can get it up. We've only got 10 minutes left. Let's have some fun, because this guy is an absolute legend. I'm probably going to get flagged for this, but I don't care right now. This is Senior.
When I say that, I mean there are billionaires. Has always had me speak of him in a positive way. He's in a very difficult position.
Oh no! Oh no!
We've not got it. Right. I'm gonna have to start again on that one.
He's fucked it up. But
yeah, we messed up that one. This is what happened.
It is presented by Oscar De La Hoya's Golden.
I don't know what's happening.
Glitched. You've had your famous glitch.
Yeah. I'm back.
It's that
I'm
internet.
back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I tried to screen share too much. I tried to do too much. That's all right. No, but how Senior was explaining his how he was cheering Junior on was absolutely creased me. The fact the man was saying, "Lick him down, lick him up, lick him up."
Lick him down, lick him up. What you getting into?
I don't know
You
what he was
fucking filthy
doing.
animal. Lick him down, lick him up.
Hey,
I think you were watching the wrong thing, you. Oh dear.
That's uncalled for. That's actually uncalled for.
The fact we haven't covered Inoue, have we? Inoue, Sunday, the monster.
The monster
on his return. What do you make of this fight?
Anyway, his return to America. Inoue is special in them weights. I think I don't think we're going to see the best of Inoue till he moves up another division. I think at that division he's too good. I expect Inoue to put a show on. The Americans at this moment in time, a faction of them don't rate him because he's not a star in America. But sometimes you can be a star in Europe, wherever you're from. You don't need to be a star in America. In my opinion, I think Americans value themselves too high in boxing. They don't. Their fighters are only known and only supported once they're on the big stage.
Yeah.
The countries like the UK, like Japan, we support fighters from debut, from amateur, when they're amateurs coming through. We support our fighters from then. We actually pay attention
all the way
to
through the system,
all the way through
grassroots.
And when our fighters do lose and do end up going on the downside, we don't throw them away. We actually celebrate what their career was, and we bid them a good farewell. But Americans seem to, as soon as a fighter loses, that's it. They're done. They don't want to see him again because they don't have another scene. The Americans have the world scene, and that is it. They do not have a domestic scene, whereas we are privileged to have a domestic scene that. So a lot of guys might not get to the world level, but we've got a British level over here, which is very close to the world level, where a lot of the guys do move on to going on to world level. With a good following.
It's got a very rich, back. It's got a very rich back scene going on it, hasn't it? Like region, you've got your region titles, which are still very good competitions. You've got your English, you've got your British, and it all builds up into one. And the rivalries are not just the regional rivalries, but then you've got the English and Scottish rivalries, the Welsh and the English, the Welsh and the and it all adds up, and it's a beautiful picture that English boxing and British boxing gets, but not many other countries get it. And like you said, we celebrate the grassroots. We celebrate the from the starting points all the way through their journeys. Like I was saying, we had that discussion, didn't we? And big up Ra. And we were saying like when Sky used to be on, when I was younger, during noughties, which seems forever ago now.
Yeah.
You used to have all those small British British small horse shows. And used to have some great tear ups up there. Like we're saying Jamie Moore, Oliver Spencer, Jamie Booth, Rendell Munro, Junior Witter, all those guys and many more, don't get me wrong. They were just a couple of my favourites. But just you don't get it now.
At the moment it seems so gone. Then even you say noughties, early to 2000 and after the Olympics. After the Olympics, it was absolutely booming. Even up here, around Hull and Doncaster and stuff. We obviously they had Luke Campbell, and so many cards up here through Luke Campbell. You see fighters like Tommy Coyle. You had people like I think like Mick Hennessy was like promoting shows with Eubank on it, James the Gale on it, Kid Galahad on it. Like you had all these fighters coming up through that scene. Like the guys you see now came through that scene. And a lot of people got to see him because it was decent small hall shows, which was aired on TV. Now the small hall shows aren't getting aired on TV. Everything is either on the zone behind a paywall, which is a subscription anyway. So you don't get it anymore. You don't. The kids have got to be. Go on.
Like you say, everything now these days is all about pay-per-views, subscriptions, monthly costs. There's nothing that you can just get now where you can just tune in and watch a good. I think it used to be Fight Night, what it called Fight Night on a Saturday night, something like that. And you just could tune in and you knew you were going to get a good night of boxing no matter what. Even ITV, they don't really have much on anymore. And and I remember when Eubank Jr. used to be on ITV. So it's just those kind of things that have like been forgotten. And I do think like as much as like I've said before, like Turkey Al Sheikh, he's done many amazing things for boxing, and let's enjoy it while he's here to put on these shows while he can and while he's interested. But we have sort of forgotten about the small hall fighters, and that's what they've been neglected.
That's what kind of annoyed me because I thought, you know what, the good thing about that is I was hoping Boxer would be that, like Boxer, not like leave Eddie and Frank to do that sort of world level and focus on the British level fighters and European level fighters where you can bring them through. You can have great nights in the UK. What's it called? And that's what Eddie did. When Eddie first came into the game, it was like, we've got one or two fighters who are world level. Apart from that, our base is British level, and I will promote every fighter around their town, wherever they're from, their area. I'm going to promote them in their area, and that's all Eddie did. He didn't worry about the world scene. The world scene, he had probably what? Who did he have? Carl Froch and Kell Brook. That was, I think, they're probably the only two world champions I think he had at the time. And I don't even think, no, he didn't. He had Kell, but Kell wasn't even a world champion yet. Kell wasn't a world champion. I think Carl Froch maybe was probably the only world champion he had. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll go with that. And he focused on the British scene, and the British scene was absolutely banging because we've got big fights. We got big fights over here, even though you had America's Carson Jones versus Kell Brook. That wasn't even for a world title, but what a fight that was.
It was a great fight,
And what a night. Like that absolutely filled out. That I think the first fight was for the first fight in America. I think the second fight was in Hull. I know the second fight was on the undercard of Luke Campbell's debut.
The first fight was Sheffield, I think.
Was it Sheffield? Was it
Sheffield?
Yeah. The second fight was on Luke Campbell's debut undercard.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. But even like when you take it back to like Matthew Hatton and some of the fights he fought Kell Brook in a great fight and all. But yeah, I got a little bit off subject there. Just we went from Inouye to British boxing, so I don't know how the fuck we did that. But that's probably why he's not a big star in America, mate, if I'm honest. But I've gone Inouye. I think Inouye's going to stop him in drastic fashion. I don't see many people beating Inouye at all. But where would you actually like to see Inouye go next?
I think he's been signed. He's fighting. What's he called?
Oh, I thought it was actually, hasn't it? I saw that actually.
I forgot his name now. MJ Akhmadaliev. Yeah, that's the one. MJ. He's fighting him, I think, after this fight. So, and that's probably the best fight to make at that weight class. So once that's that once this fight's done, that's a good fight to look forward to. I'm actually looking forward to that because MJ is a very good fighter. Ra says, give your predictions. We've gave it already, but we'll go through it quickly before we leave. Garcia versus Rolly. I've got Garcia. Hopefully, Rolly can throw a donkey punch and knock him out, but I've got that Garcia. Who you got, Ricky?
I've got Garcia stoppage round 7 for that one.
Yeah, Haney
I'm going
versus
round 7.
Yeah, Haney versus Ramirez. I've gone Haney UD, possibly late stoppage.
Yeah, I've gone Haney UD as well for that.
Barboza, Tio versus Barboza. I've gone Barboza, split decision, more majority decision. I think Barboza he stays disciplined. I think Barboza can do it. Ricky?
I've gone Lopez majority decision. I think it'll be a close fight, but I do think Teofimo will have the better eye catching shots and Courtly on display. Who else we got?
Who else we got? Canelo versus Skull. We both got Canelo. I've got Canelo early. I think you've got Canelo
to
late.
put in a stool around 9.
That round 9 kills me every time. Macaulay, Munguia versus Suraz. I've got Munguia early. I think Munguia beats him early. I don't think he plays with him this time. I think he gets him there and gets him out of there.
Yeah, I've got Munguia and all stoppage round 5.
Who else we got? We've got Macaulay versus Jagba. I've gone Macaulay early stoppage. I think it is early. You check. Macaulay. Yeah, round 5 stoppage for Macaulay. That's who I've gone with. Who else we got? Bloody hell. Right, predictions for
This is for his fucking accumulator, this. Move on to future ones. We've done these ones, haven't we?
Yeah.
Let's move on to future ones.
So let's see what this one is. This is Fisher versus Allen 2. Right. Dave Allen seems to be serious at this moment in time.
Yeah,
and I don't like it. Because when Dave's serious, he puts my hopes up. When Dave says he's serious, he puts my hopes up. And then he puts in a performance and you just think, why, Dave? Why?
I've seen you put on better performances when you've not been serious. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Yeah, it
sounds clearer.
Oh, yeah, there we go. It's helped me. No, yeah, Dave always he puts my hopes up. Obviously, Donny Ladd and that you want him to win. But you know what? I went against Dave the first time, and he proved me wrong. So I don't know if Johnny Fisher's learned enough to change the outcome of that fight or how the fight went. I don't know if Johnny. The problem is Johnny gassed out. He went all out for Dave. After 3 rounds, he was spent. And I said at the time, if I expected Johnny to finish him inside 4 rounds, but I also said if Johnny doesn't and Dave gets used to his power, it's going to be a long night because Dave can take a shot. So I'm going with Dave Allen. I'm going with Dave Allen.
I'm in the same boat. I like Dave Allen. I thought I didn't score the first fight, but my heart had fucking Dave Allen winning that fight. Again, like you said, what different obviously tactics are going to make this rematch. Fisher he thought he hurt Dave Allen in those early rounds, and he was going to try and bomb him out, and then it would Bambi on ice all the way rest through that 12-round fight. So I kind of think, I think Dave Allen gets it. I think Dave Allen's smart. He's not got the most ring IQ, but he's been in there with some good fighters, some really good fighters. So I think the experience, I think it'll go Dave Allen's way. So I'm going to go with the Donny boy.
Yeah, we've got to stick with the Donny boy. Plus, you know what? like I said to you, I don't mind if I'm proven wrong on boxing picks, and when you prove me wrong, it'll be hard for me to go away from that.
Right, taking piss now.
Right. Are we doing a full another show or what? Right. You know what? You could have been on the panel tonight, and we could have had these conversations.
We could have had you on. We could have had you on.
Right. We'll quickly get through these then. Maxi Hughes versus Archie Sharp. Yeah, again, I'm going to go with Donny Boy. I think Maxi has fought the better level of competition. I think the second part of Maxi's career, I think he's really believed in himself, and he's proved that he is a good. He's a focus, right? No, Maxi's proven that he's fought on a better level than Archie Sharp. Archie Sharp has always been the guy who's supposed to be fighting somebody and never ever ended up fighting him for one reason or another. I'm sure he was linked with fighting Shakur, but for 5 years ago, I think it was, when Shakur were at 126. He was linked to fighting him, and that never happened. So I'm going with Maxi on that one.
I'm going with Maxi as well. I like Maxi Hughes. Like I said, better caliber of opponents. I think he's got what it takes. He's looking for those big fights again, and that's why I'm picking the Donny Boy again.
Yeah, Taylor versus Esserman.
Tartan Tornado.
Yeah. Josh Taylor probably. You know what? Is this a welterweight? I think it's a welterweight, right? Josh has to have moved up by now. Bloody hell. It's about time. At welterweight, I think Josh wins it. Josh is obviously former undisputed champion. Josh has the skills. He's a good fighter. This is a fight to see how much he's got left, because that welterweight division is hotting up. And it's a division that really he's lucky right now, because at 140, these guys have only moved up once at 140, and then they're moving up straight away. Because had they stayed at 140 and Josh go up to 147, there's not really much big fights there. There's boots, and that's about. Is Conor Benn going to happen? I can't see it happening. I can't see Conor even risking that. But yeah, I've got Josh Taylor on that one. Itoma versus Bollinger. I can't say that.
Balogun. I don't see many heavyweights at this moment in time beating Itoma. Yeah. I think he's going to blast through that division. And to be fair, the division needs it, because Fury is on the back end. Usyk's it's 39, nearly 40. AJ's in the twilight zone. Dubois is probably reaching will be his prime years. I think Itoma's the future, or potential future. Him, and probably set up for that journey between him and Leo Atang. He's up and coming. I'm looking forward to his debut, actually. And there's Delicious Ori, who wasn't impressive, but he's got time to build under Grant Smith. So there's some talent coming through.
This is the thing that we was just on about the British level or British scene. You've got plenty of fighters there to have big nights in Britain. Like, you can make your name in Britain. There's plenty of names there to beat. Itoma, he seems to be that guy, but you can beat these guys. You can get in there with these guys who are touted to be big, who are in your era. You beat all that. Like I always say, AJ beating Dillian White was one of the best things for his career, because he beat the next guy that was supposed to be something as well.
Yeah,
that night and everything, absolutely, it shot him up. So I always think it's the same way with Wardley versus Fraser. Love that fight, the first fight. That is what I like to see. Two big British heavyweight guys get in there with each other and have it out, and we'll see who's the best. Who's the best heavyweight in Britain? Caleb Plant versus Resendez. Caleb Plant stops him probably. It's Caleb Plant coming back.
I like Caleb Plant. I think he's one of the best super middleweights out there. I think I've got Plant on that one. You?
I'll go with Caleb Plant as well. I like Plant. He's been in there with some big opposition. He's been in there with Canelo himself. I like to see him push forward as well, to be fair now. I'll go with Caleb Plant as well.
We got Charlo versus Lamana.
I'm not back against Jamal Charlo. I love the Charlo twins.
You love the Charlos, don't you?
Yeah. The Charlos are fucking the boys.
Yeah, nah. Charlo should beat Lamana. Listen, if he's offered a drink and stuff, let's see what he's got. We've got Kelly versus Bier. Josh Kelly needs to do something with his career. He really does. He was touted to be the next guy. He was flashy and everything, and
the next, not like the next.
154 has enough names for Josh Kelly to be in and about for him to be fighting names at this point. The only name he's fought is David Avanesian, and he lost.
Yeah, he got beat. He's not. He needs a performance. I'm going to back Kelly to win it. Because he needs a performance. He needs to be put his money where his mouth is now.
I'm guessing that's Kyron Davis.
Keyshawn, isn't it?
Santos.
Keyshawn Davis.
It's not Keyshawn. Oh, Dallas. Oh, Keyshawn, yeah. Oh, Keyshawn's going to beat the shit out of him. Keyshawn is about to beat the shit out of De Los Santos. Bro, nah. Keyshawn, people need to leave Keyshawn is it. Keyshawn is good. I like Keyshawn. I like his energy. Abdullah Mason versus Nakatilia.
Abdullah Mason is looking the goods.
He's one of those fighters where now you're looking at him and you're thinking you've seen him get dropped at this early point in his career. You've seen him get dropped and stuff, and he's not scared to let his hands go. I like Abdullah Mason. I think he stops Nakatilia. Nakatilia against Shakur was a horrible fight because Shakur just moved all night. I think there's something wrong with his hands, he said, because Nakatilia can punch. But the problem is Mason can punch as well. I think Mason's defense is better. I think Nakatilia has been stopped since then as well, maybe a couple of times since he fought Shakur.
Yeah, and he's got 16 knockouts as well, Annie Mason. So he's a big puncher. So I would put Mason down for stoppage there to look impressive.
Yeah, we might as well do third card. I didn't even know this fight. I didn't even know that. Oh, this is a Caleb Simpson fight. We will both be there, live and direct. We'll try and get some footage for you guys. Simpson versus Zuko.
I'll go with Simpson, the Yorkshire lad.
Yeah,
I think he can do it. I think he's got all the skill sets to do it, and he's building a platform now to move up in it.
He's got a good fan base behind him. I just hope Boxer just do the right thing with him, because I don't know what Boxer's doing over there. We got Opataya versus Squat. I can't say it.
Opataya. Squid. We'll just call him Squid.
Squid.
Yeah, we'll call him Squid. Opataya.
Hitchens versus Cambosis. You know what? Hitchens will just outbox Cambosis all night. Cambosis will just keep running into shot after shot after shot. He'll bring the pressure, but Hitchens is a very good boxer. I can't see Cambosis beating him.
No, I agree.
Yab 5 versus Rodriguez Jr. I'm not sure who Rodriguez Jr. is. At this point, after seeing Yafai versus Sonny, I'm not picking against Yafai until someone shows me a reason to.
Yeah, I like Yafai. He's good pedigree.
Yeah,
good boxing family. I like everything about Yafai, other than his accent.
Masood
McGrail.
versus Peter McGrail. That's a really good fight. I like that fight.
He's a big puncher, McGrail. I like McGrail. The guy is just an animal.
Listen, he's with Eddie, right? He is with Eddie. Peter McGrail with Eddie? I'm sure he's with Eddie.
I think he's one of the matchroom fighters, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's with Eddie, and Masood's with Frank, right? Or is he with Ben?
I'm going McGrail. I don't care. I'm going with him.
Yeah, I'll lean to McGrail on that. I like Masood though. I think it's going to be a firefight. I think it's going to be a good fight, really good fight. Wilder versus Herndon. Yeah, listen, right, Wilder, just make sure that right hand works for your sake. Make sure it works because you shouldn't be losing to nobody no. I've done no research on Herndon, but Wilder, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. That's all I can say on that one. That's literally all I can say. Berlanga versus Shiraz. That's a good one. Who you got? Because both guys need a win. Both need a win. Obviously, Berlanga's coming off that win, but against somebody we don't really know about. Berlanga right now in America is a star. He's a name. He's got a following. Shiraz, after the performance against the Damas, we need a performance from you. And this, fair play to him. Fair play to Shiraz for taking this fight. Because that's a big fight to come back to. I know he didn't lose. It was a draw, but we all saw what we saw in it.
Yeah. I'm just having a look because this fight's not on BoxRec neither. Has that fight been announced?
What? Berlanga?
Shiraz and Berlanga, yeah.
I don't think it's been announced, but it's a fight that's in.
It's the unknown secret. It's an hard fight, that.
I'm going to have to go with Berlanga.
It's a difficult fight to pick.
It is. Shiraz moving up. Berlanga's used to that weight now. This will be his third fight at the weight.
I'm gonna favor Berlanga as well. I'm gonna go Berlanga.
Yeah, that's a good fight though. Another good fight. I like that fight.
Yeah.
Stevenson versus Zepeda. Stevenson's gonna beat the shit out of Zepeda.
Yeah, he's gonna beat the brakes off that boy.
He's gonna beat the shit out of Zepeda. This isn't even. There's not much I can say about that because, yeah. And last but not least, Usyk versus Dubois 2, the rematch we all needed.
Yeah, he'll stop him with a double jab this time.
Bro, he doesn't need a double jab. He stopped him with one last time.
I know, but he's on a momentum now, so he'll take a double jab to beat him.
Frank and Queensberry and Devsani and whoever else want to. Daniel is a new Daniel now. He's a new guy now. He's new this. All right. Daniel is the same. Daniel, you are the same guy that's crying about a body shot that Usyk has nothing to do with. I don't understand the team. Why are they crying about Usyk being an actor or whatever when Usyk, when the shot landed, the referee instantly called low blow. He instantly called low blow. I'm not being funny. Everybody else is. Everybody might not have done boxing, but everybody's played football or thingy. If I'm running down the wing and the referee gives me a foul and the player gets the ball and I go over and the referee gives me a foul, I'm gonna stay down.
I'm taking free kick.
I'm gonna take my free kick. Best believe I'm gonna take my free kick. What do you mean? You're crying about something that was out of my hand. It was out of Usyk. Usyk got up and said he was ready. The referee said, "No, you've got time. You've got time. It was a low blow. And the referee probably did that because he's seen how many times Daniel's gone low. Everybody's acting like, oh, it's on the belt line. All right, if it's on the belt line, but the referee hasn't just stopped it from one low blow. He's probably seen countless of low blows or shots that's in and around that area where he's thought, oh, I'll let this one go. Let me see how many, you know what I mean? He's probably done that. And that's probably one he's gone, you know what? I've seen a few of them now. Let me give him some time. That's on the referee. We can call out the referee for that. You can call out the referee for giving him too much time if you want to. That's on the referee. Calling Usyk a cheat and an actor and all this stuff is disrespectful as Matt.
And a pussy.
yeah.
He's a pussy. He's been in with biggest hitters in Britain and beat them all, but he's a pussy.
He's beaten Fury twice, AJ twice, Chisora. Who else?
Just beating Chisora makes you hard as fuck. I don't care what you say. Chisora is an animal, mate. And when we get to the ring with Chisora, yeah.
Fuck it. Honestly, the
guy goes on.
Listen, Usyk's gonna stop Daniel again. Usyk will become 2-time heavyweight undisputed champion of the world. And I will leave it on this. Tyson Fury and AJ, it looks like we might finally get the fight, seeing as Fury's out of his 3-month retirement. I know Ricky loves to hear it. I know he's super happy that Tyson Fury's back out of retirement for the 15th time of his career, which lasted 3 months.
I would have rather saw AJ versus Dubois too than Usyk versus Dubois and Fury versus AJ.
Ooh, now you're talking because you know I want revenge. I need revenge.
Yeah, I want revenge. So
I need revenge.
That's the fight I
says, why is it called Fatal Fury? Sounds like a gimmick slogan. I ain't got a clue, but I'm not going to complain because the Fatal Fury I saw last weekend, if I see the same Fatal Fury this weekend, I'm going to be happy because that firefight last weekend was fun to watch.
Yeah.
So they can call it what the hell they want. As long as the fights are good, I don't care. Just got back from watching Thunderbolts movie and instantly switched this awesome podcast on their dedication. Thank you, appreciate it. We will be back on Monday to basically review this absolutely mental card we've got this weekend, the full weekend of boxing. My missus is going to be fuming with me. Because I'm going to be up all hours of the night just watching boxing and be tired the next day.
I'm working Saturday night, so
yeah, well, we'll see. But Ricky, been a good episode, another good episode. We'll be back Monday. Any last words from you?
No, mate. See you all Monday.
See you.
When the money gets tight.